Before I start my Power Wash simulator, I've been looking at some news about Nintendo again. Uh, Patenting things from like summoning characters to mounts and all everything that they have for Nintendo related. And what I don't like about the fact of the matter is, what I find stupid about this whole thing is that Nintendo seems to have forgotten their humidity. Once Nintendo was known to be just a card company, and then they decided to become video games during the fact that while Atari was going bankrupt because of too many games being made, and ET helped and do it, but then caused completely the bankrupt. But the point is, what I don't like is the fact that I grew up with Nintendo years ago, back when I was like a child, like 5 years at least. And then I find out that Nintendo's doing things like patenting it, everything from like summoning friends to mounting creatures and yet what's stupid about this whole thing is Nintendo doesn't seem to remember that they weren't the ones who personally made these mechanics. Summoning creatures was based on a wizardy game where you were the villain that you could actually summon allies. Before Nintendo even got their idea, it was Wizardy that made the inventing of summoning characters. If you look it up, you'll find Wizardy was the one that had it first. They were a villain that actually summoned like minions, like goblins and stuff. Then we have the mounting, which of course Nintendo did not invent that as well. That was also invented before Nintendo. Everything Nintendo claims that they should be able to patent are a load of crap. And so is Nintendo, is being a load of crap. Let me just say one thing. I used to respect Nintendo because they're the ones that brought video games back from the brink of death by bringing in like a bundle pack with Nintendo and Power Gun and controllers, Nintendo system. Back when you had box TVs. Wow, isn't that old? But now I hear how much of a dictator Nintendo is. So basically, Nintendo is the Hitler of Nintendos. And it's like kind of ironic because when they brought Wolfenstein to Nintendo, Nintendo censored everything Hitler related, Nazis and Hitler, because they didn't want any involvement of Nazis. And then here we got Nintendo doing just what I ironically said, that they're becoming Hitler. They're like, we are the one games that you're allowed to play only. We will make sure that you can't play any other games but us. Even though what's stupid about the whole thing is that Nintendo was not the only one we had back in the old days. We had Sega, we had PC. So it's like, come on, Nintendo, get your head out of your behind. You know you're being stupid. I don't care if your last name is Bowser. That doesn't mean you have to act like a Bowser. You have a brain. You don't have to act like a jerkish character based on a Mario cartoon or video game. Grow up, Nintendo. You were not the sole creator of the video games. Stop acting like you invented like canned bread or something. It's not the truth. You invented nothing, Nintendo. Nothing. All you did was bring video games back from the death from Atari's mistakes. And then you yourself are making mistakes. You expect people to pay $500 for a lousy Switch 2 that's nothing more than an upgraded Switch. $500 for an upgraded Switch. Are you kidding me? You want people to spend $500 for a lousy Switch 2 that doesn't even have decent games right now, let alone be worth even playing? It's like you make me sick, Nintendo. You make me really, really sick that I used to play your games alongside Sega. It's like, look at you, look at you. You think you're so great, but you're not. You're not. You're not. Let's say Sega, my bad. You're not Nintendo. You're not great. Do you know what's special about you? Nothing. Because in the end, A, you only make repetitive games. No matter how graphical the games are, and no matter how you add some new stuff to it, you're not adding anything new. It's the same thing. Rinse and repeat. Mario, save the princess, save the princess, save the princess. Pokemon, grab the badges, go to Elite Four. Grab the badges, go to Elite Four. Grab the badges, go to Elite Four. Legend of Zelda, saving Zelda, defeat Ganon, blah 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 blah. Metroid, gotta destroy the Metroids. Gotta destroy the Metroids. Gotta destroy Mother Brain. Gotta destroy the Metroids. Do you know what I'm saying? Your games are just repetitive as heck. All they are just repetitive. Boring. I remember when I saved the princess for the 50th time and I said to myself, why am I doing this? Why am I constantly playing a Mario game and getting bored by the fact that all I'm doing is saving Princess Toadstool, saving the Princess Toadstool, saving Princess Toadstool. I get so bored looking at the princess now that I think to myself, can I save anyone other than the princess? I've got like, what, 50 badges now? Thinking to myself, yeah, I got 50 badges. Do I even have a room big enough to hold all my badges? Was all the badges I've gotten? They're so annoying. It's like you do bring some new stuff into it, like berries and held items and stuff that was nice and all, but they barely do anything different than the game itself. It's still rinse and repeat, repeat and rinse. So now I hear this stupid crap, where you decide to patent things like summoning friends to mounting animals. And for what? Because you want to be the only one that monopolizes on video games. You think that what we should do is just not play any games on PC, not any games on mobile. We should just sit on our butts and just play your lousy systems instead of just playing with other games that we like PlayStation or Xbox. You think you're the only one that has the right to when you had a competition that was Sega? You know, I'm starting to think that Sega had it right when they said Sega does what Nintendo don't. Because this is what you're acting like. You're acting like a whiny 5-year-old that acts like you're the only one that has the right to make video games and others don't. Wow, when did you become God? Commanding people that they're lower than you and you're the only one who's like some kind of godlike being that can actually make video games? Oh, Nintendo, you lost your humility. What do I have to do? Bring the Biggering song from the Lorax? Because that's what you're acting like. You're acting like the Biggering from the Lorax. But I don't want to be copyright. But that was the whole point. I love how the company was trying to say, like, it's not my fault that I'm cutting down trees. Yes, it is. You're causing a disaster, and you're not even planting the trees back. You're just cutting them down. That's not my point. My point is Nintendo is just like the Lorax. The Biggering song makes more sense. Look up the Biggering song, and you'll understand that's what Nintendo is. A shady, bad company that wants to make sure that they have the rights to be able to make video games, and no one else does. So they dictate your actions. If I were Nintendo, I'd rethink on that crap, because you weren't the one that invented Jack. Left and right, that was an Atari. Jumping, that was an Atari. Summoning creatures, that was from Wizardy or other games that were probably before you were even considered a thought. You know, everything that you could probably say that you invented was not true. I'm sure Kirby's sucking ability was not invented by you. I'm sure shooting was not invented by you. They were playing shooting games. I'm sure everything that you probably say that you would need a patent for, you don't have any rights to. Power World, see, that's the thing. You're just mad because it's like Pokemon, but with guns. Ooh, that's so sad. Ooh, somebody made Pokemon with guns. No, that is so sad. No. That's acting. That's like saying that. That's basically Nintendo being stupid. Nintendo, stop being stupid. I used to respect you because I would play Nintendo and Sega games every time I got home from school. Every time I would play video games, I used to enjoy things. And yes, they were repetitive, but after a while, I just, I was used to that fact, to the point that I just would play the games. And then it's like, all you had was such a small library. You know what you are, Nintendo? You, ironically, it's ironic, you hate emulation. But at the same time, You are an emulation! In case you don't realize it, when Nintendo came out, they only had like Mario Brothers, Legend of Zelda, uh, Legend of Zelda, Mario, Metroid. Basically, you had a small Nintendo library. But then what did the rest of the games be up? Emulation. Because they would have things like Batman and Spider-Man and Iron Man and Power Rangers and... do you get what I'm trying to say? Nintendo was just one big emulation for every other third-party games. You didn't have much of a library, and then all of a sudden when Game Boy came around, you have Pokemon. It's like big deal. You added one more family member. Woo! Look at me, I'm Nintendo. I added another family member to my list. Woo! Pokemon! Wow! Wow! You didn't invent Jack. And I think this is the same people who made it that you had to have a cable link so you can encourage to have friends trade Pokemon with you. Now, look at this. They're like, well, you know what? I want you to pay money to go on a server to play with others. You have to pay money for that, by the way. I mean, it was funny because it started on the Wii, where you had to pay like $5 to be able to use the internet, and then they made it for free. And so you had to like get equivalent. Instead of give the money back, they just have you get a game that was equivalent to $5. The point is, Nintendo is starting to become that old phrase. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to be the bad guy. And what do you know, Nintendo? That's what you are. You're a bad guy. Not a hero like you were. You were a bad guy. And quite frankly, it makes me sick to my stomach, the fact that you decide to dictate actions of others. Look at you, Nintendo, acting like you're some kind of deity, a godlike being that thinks that I'm the only one that can create video games, but others can't because why should they? Look, I know I have repetitive video games, but they have more creativity than me. Even people who make fan games of my Nintendo games are more creative than me. I am so mad. I'm going to sue the fan games company because they make better games than me. I'm going to sue indie games because they make better games than me. Well, what do you think about that, Nintendo? How about the fact matters? How about instead of suing people because you're jealous, how about you actually take your games and make them better? Why don't you stop being repetitive and boring as heck? Because, well, frankly, I'm getting tired of the fact that I'm hearing the fact that all you do is sue happy this, sue happy that. This, that. You know what? Maybe you should just say to yourself, you know what? Instead of suing, how about I just make new games? How about I stop being repetitive by adding Mario and Zelda? How about I add a new library that's full of games that are different from Mario and Zelda? Adding new features, adding more things that make it more fun. Instead of acting so sue happy, I'll sue everyone under the sun because they have better games than me. I mean, even the fan games had better games than you. They had better features, more fun, and then you're like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. I am your God. I am your God. And as your God, I am the only one that can make video games. So, fans, I know you love my games, but as God, I want you to cease and desist making games better than mine. And if you don't, I'm going to sue you. So you better remove every fan game that you are inspired by my games and take them down before I smite you down like the peasant that you are, because I am better than you. I am God, and you think God up there exists? No, he doesn't exist. I'm God. I'm the Nintendo God. I'm better than all of you. So it's like, and then it's like, same thing with the indie games that try to make money and enjoy themselves. Oh, indie games. You have angered Nintendo God. As your Nintendo God, it is my right to tell you to step off my cloud. It's my job to make games. You want to make games? You work for me, or you get lost. As Nintendo God, I demand that you stop making new games. It is not your right to make games. It's my right as Nintendo God. I am better than you. I am your God. There is no God but me. And it's like, then you're like, Nintendo, what the heck are you doing? Are you on some kind of drugs? Are you drinking a huge amount of alcohol? Because you sound like a nut job. What do you mean you're God? It's like Nintendo's like, I am your video game god. You must pay tribute. I am sick and tired of people playing on their PCs and mobile games. If you want to play something, you play on my systems. You pay the money I demand you to pay, and you worship me. I want you to kiss my feet and worship me. And then it's like, people are like, no, no, I don't want to do it. You will, or I will sue you. I will sue you, and I'll make sure that you be known that you are scum. You are scum. It's like really shame because, like, I understand that people who hack games, that's sad because it's like it's not good to hack games. It ruins um, money. But what I don't understand is why Nintendo gets so mad, because the games that a lot of times are hacked. Okay, the Switch 2 got hacked. That's not very smart. But I'm talking about older games that don't make much profit, like Game Boys and Nintendo games and stuff. I understand Nintendo could upset about that because they don't make profit, and then all of a sudden they like have this stupid membership where you can buy all those games for like a membership, so you can actually play them as long as you pay monthly for it. And it's like, Nintendo, you're really trying to cash in the old video games when they are not even worth money anymore? What the heck's wrong with you? So, I don't want to keep this too long, but my point is, I really am disappointed in Nintendo's actions. I'm sorry for the way Nintendo acts. I wish that they wouldn't act this way. It's not my fault, but at the same time, I'm sorry they act this way. They used to be humble, and now they just have too much of the pie that now they're acting all spoiled rotten, and they think they're the only ones that can make video games. And that's not the truth. The truth matters. They don't have the right. I mean, what are they going to do? Are they going to, like, I don't know, go after Five Nights at Freddy's and stop them because apparently, I don't know, they invented jump scares, even though I haven't seen any jump scares in Nintendo? Are they going to stop, uh, let me think. Are they going to stop Final Fantasy because they have, like, turn action role plays? And last time I checked, they had a Mario RPG that was made of Nintendo and Squaresoft. Are they going to stop every video game from having music because Nintendo has music in it? I mean, just how far will Nintendo go before they end up causing so much problems? It sounds like they should never have won the race when it came to Nintendo versus Sega. I think we were better off having Sega on the as a hero than Nintendo, because Nintendo is now more like a zero. From Hero Zero, Nintendo is a loser. I don't like their attitude. I don't like the way they're thinking. If they think by suing people because they have ideas and stuff, that's on them. That's just rude. But let me tell you something, Nintendo. A word of advice. Word of advice. You have no right to tell people what they can do with their life. If you don't want to see competition, then maybe you should actually work on making your games better instead of trying to sue people to make sure that they can't be as smart as you, that make your games competitive, overrated, and boring. It's 2025, Nintendo. Get your head out of your behind and understand not everyone wants to play your games. Your games aren't made by God. Your games aren't made by some kind of holy person that's so powerful they'll threaten Earth. No, you're not made. You're not God. You're not. You're just a simple company made up of people that don't seem to understand not everyone wants to play your games. I wouldn't want to play your games ever again because of how spoiled you are. I would rather just give up playing video games altogether than to deal with you, Nintendo, because you're just selfish. You're a selfish, spoiled child that thinks that you have the only right to make video games and no one else. Grow up, Nintendo. Grow up. Because in the end, not even your Nintendo Nazi group are going to save you. And I call them Nazi group because those are basically the people that worship Nintendo. They're the ones that would buy it no matter what price. They'll find a way to make the money and will buy it. But not everyone is a Nazi group. They don't believe it's right for certain people to have that great a power. Why do you think we used to have things like judicial, legislative, and judiciary, a three-ring government? It was make sure that the government was in check, and I don't think it's in check anymore, but that's not the point. The point is, you're not God, Nintendo. You're just a group that made video games that saved the world from the fact that Atari was going bankrupt. But instead of being the hero that we need, you became the villain that we didn't ask for. So come on, Nintendo. Grow up before it's too late. Before A, nobody plays video games anymore because you ruined their chances, or B, you'll end up bankrupt because nobody's going to buy from you ever again. They're going to boycott all your stuff, and then you'll have to either fix yourself or go bankrupt and have some other company that's more humble than you show up. Till then, I hope you'll think about what you've done. You truly are a villain, and nobody likes villains. Nobody. So grow up before it's too late. Understand? Nintendo? Sega does what Nintendo don't, and so do PC and Microsoft and PlayStation. Grow up before it's too late. Understand? So, just give me time to compose myself, and I will get back to playing Power Wash. Until then, I'll be right back.